Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. It's Thursday, so of course we're going to talk about semiconductor stock. Now, this week has been a big week for semiconductors. A lot of big earnings, everything from ARM, AMD. We've got Intel coming up tomorrow. So tonight's presentation, I'm going to break down these companies here, see how the earnings have, matched up to estimates so far this week. On top of that, we're going to jump into the VectorVest 7 system, and we're going to take a look at this industry as a whole. We're going to take a look at its valuation, and we're going to see where opportunities can present themselves. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick around and let's get started. All right, just real quick, I got an article for each one of the stocks that reported this week, starting with AMD. I mean, the stock did jump up as we all saw, but those gains were short-lived. But when it comes to the earnings call itself, I mean, revenue, earnings, they beat estimates, and the big focus was on the data center revenue, which jumped over 100% in the same quarter the year prior. Now, ARM reported yesterday after the bell. The stock is down right now. Their guidance, very weak. They didn't even release the amount of chips actually sold, which I think investors were concerned about. But other than that, I mean, their revenue up 39% since the same time last year, beat estimates when it comes to both revenue and earnings. So as far as I see, the stock still looks good. It's just overvalued, and we'll get into more detail when we get into the VectorVest 7 software. Now we have QCOM. The most of the attention here is on the chip sales. It is up 12%, but there is something that I do like about this company here, and that's going to be their IoT branch. IoT, I've done some videos on it, didn't get a lot of views, but if you don't already know, IoT is definitely at the forefront of AI. It's what, links our devices to the internet. It's essentially just, making dumb things smart in a nutshell. But the company, as you see here, QCOM, great earnings report. Here's another one, Lam Research. You see here, forecast quarterly revenue above estimates fueled by the AI boom. So I know there are a lot of concerns. All these companies are spending a lot of money on this AI technology, but it looks like the money is going to pay dividends in the future. Now here we've got Intel, and right before the earnings, it's announcing another round of layoffs. I mean, this company has an ambitious plan to turn itself around, become the leader in the foundry business as it once was. But right now, the title does remain with TSM or Taiwan Semiconductors. I'm actually really interested to see, not so much as far as the earnings or the revenue data, but just the forecasted guidance and some more details on the plan going forward. Now, I might as well mention it. When I was going through these earnings, I thought to myself, when is NVIDIA's earnings call? Well, it's at the end of the month here, August 28th. So we've got some time before its earnings call, and we've seen NVIDIA run up over the last few days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this continuance of its run up, right before the earnings, and the potential for interest rate cuts come September. Here we are in the VectorVest 7 system. I got the stocks up, in the semiconductor space that we're reporting this week. We got Intel come tomorrow. Now, what's the first thing we notice here, right? They're all down today. ARM Holdings down 15%. Even AMD down 5%. QCOM over 8%. Lam Research over 8%. Intel just above 3%. So you can see all these stocks not doing well today. And look, 4 out of the 5 stocks here have sell ratings. If we take a look at the valuation here, AMD, we valued at 121, currently trading at 136. ARM Holdings, like I said, this is greatly overvalued. I told you I'd mention this again. 122, we valued at $37. QCOM 165, we valued at 182. So that's actually undervalued. That's a good one here. Lam Research 838, we valued at 479, so greatly overvalued. Intel also undervalued. So QCOM and Intel are the only ones that have reached undervaluation at this point. AMD and ARM look like they're on the way down there. ARM's got a long ways to way. But honestly, I'm going to pull up ARM real quick, because this is my big concern for ARM. This is one of my favorite stocks in the database. If we take a look at ARM, you see the price action on the rise over the last 10 months since it went public here. So this is my concern. Yes, it is overvalued. A lot of stocks in the space are. That's not so much my concern. The main concern I have is really just the valuation has been stagnant. Value is $15, so it has, just more than doubled at $37 right now, but still greatly overvalued. To be honest, my level here is around $80. We'll see if it hits more of a zone between $80 and about $90. We got the gap here, so I wouldn't be surprised if price action does reach that. But if you're holding ARM, especially if you bought it because of me, I mean, this thing is hugging the bottom Bollinger Band right now, facing again another price pressure as of today, 122. So be cautious, mitigate risk, protect profits if you still got profits in the position. opportunities will present themselves again. Just have some patience and discipline. Now, getting back to these stocks as a whole here, I mean, we saw the earnings report, right? The earnings was phenomenal. AI is still a boom. These companies are still making money, still setting record profits, record earnings, record revenue that we saw. And a couple of these companies have more than doubled their revenue over the last 12 months. So this space right now, it's the space itself. So let's take a look at the industries as a whole. There are two industry breakdowns. We're going to take a look at both charts, take a look at valuation, things of that nature. So that way we can be prepared when the industry turns around and we can make some money. So the first industry is going to be semiconductor equipment. This includes the likes of like ARM, ASML, companies such as that. You could see greatly overvalued. That's my concern right now. So even though these earnings reports were, great, they needed to be phenomenal to really justify some of these price valuations that we're seeing today. But as the industry as a whole, if we zoom in here and 3-month time span, we can see the price action has fallen into the slow lane here, the bottom set of these Bollinger Bands. Therefore, the momentum is to the downside right now. So definitely not bullish in the space at this time, but definitely protect profits. Can't say that enough in this video. Now here we've got the other side of the semiconductor industry, which is the manufacturing. This includes AMD, NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors. You could see the run up over the last few months here. But again, look at the valuation, our green line here. This space is greatly overvalued. Currently trading at $61.51. We're valuing it around $40, so it's about 50% above our valuation metrics right now. And if I zoom into a 3-month time span, just looking at price action here, you can see price action going into the slow lane over the last few trading sessions. Therefore, the momentum is to the downside right now. Can't be bullish on the space. Once again, I'm going to say, protect profits, mitigate your risk if you are holding these companies. All right, VectorVest, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with a question in the comment section. Put a 1 if you think now is a good time to be bottom fishing in the semiconductor space. Put a 2 if you think we should wait. Me personally, with all the major semiconductors down today, even NVIDIA down almost 5%. They all have sell ratings. Only NVIDIA has a hold rating here, no buy rating at all. This is not the space to be bullish at this time, in my opinion. Now, if you found the video informative and you see the potential not to make money here, but to protect your money, protect your capital, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe channel if you're new to this, so that way I can keep you updated going forward. Have a good night.
Is your portfolio in need of a refresh? Want to learn the best tips and tricks for buying the right stocks at the right time? I'm Brian D'Amico, a senior investing coach here at VectorVest, and I'm inviting you to our Portfolio Challenge live stream. You'll learn step by step how to weed your portfolio of bad stocks and replace them with winning stocks. You'll walk away with a daily plan to manage your portfolio with complete confidence. Go to VectorVest.com/PC to register and download your free workbook. Mark your calendar for August 7th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss this.